Remember this utterly embarrassing scenario earlier this year that happened in 10 Downing Street, remember? And of course, if you also recall, we had the leader of the Conservative Party popping up on the BBC. This is the BBC, of course, who mocked the British flag when they were interviewing various ministers a few years back, headed, of course, by Naga Munchetty. Well, apparently they lashed out at Kemi Badenoch because she hadn't watched this Netflix TV show. It appears, though, that, well, she took the lead. Many people have disregarded Keir's call to arms. As ever, let me explain. Welcome back, chums. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for taking the time out to join me today. Lovely to have your company. And as I said, this is a funny... Oh, sorry, we haven't had a wave, have we? Do tell me off. You can tap on the screen. I can hear you. No, you know what I mean? I just get that wrapped up in the story. And as you can imagine, you know, I have somebody here, a lovely man, literally, who is working for the Westminster Council. But they're not allowed to go on camera, which is a shame, because I'd love to thank them. But thank you for looking out for me. But they do, you know, they're very kind and they give up their time. I'm sure they're just baffled by what one of them said to me the other day. Neil, you have a very good memory. How do you remember it all? And I was thinking that because it's funny, isn't it? I don't know if you're the same. Can remember long things, go to the shop, forget why I went in there, come back home, no milk. Do you do that? Yeah, you see, it's not just me then. Why is it you can remember, say, something like 10, 15, 20 years ago, and then you come back and you think, well, why am I in here? You've bought some bananas, maybe a couple of Welsh cakes or something, and suddenly you get back home and think, that's what I needed. Got no milk for the pot of tea now. You see, we're all the same in the end, but thank you. Now, take a look at this. This was, of course, a big picture in number 10 Downing Street. This was apparently to, well, highlight the fact that, you know, adolescents, a fictitious TV series on Netflix, well, was going to change the world. You know, everybody had to watch this, you know, and Sir Keir demanded that this was going to be shown in all schools, literally because, of course, it was literally white bashing. A completely fictitious story which does not represent the schools up and down the country. But he invited even the writer into Downing Street, some of the cast, and they got, you know, I mean, it was popular because it was on a roll, on a hype. As I said at the start of the video, Kemi Badenoch, the leader of the Conservative Party, he sort of said, look, it's fictitious, I'm dealing in reality. Keir never deals in reality, clearly, but he insisted that this would be shown in schools up and down the country. Thing is, nobody's interested. The kids don't want to know. Apparently, according to the schools that I've contacted so far, no, they haven't received it. They're not about to do it. They're not going to pay to download it. You know, this is the government all over. Slapdash thing. The only way that would have worked, and this happened, I'm sure, in your time when you were at school, if they wanted you to watch something like a history program or something, it was normally brought in on a VHS. I get it, cassette, you could downstream, I get all of that. But that was normally backed up with a letter from the Education Department. According to a source, Bridget Phillipson, our current Education Minister, they've received nothing of the sort. There's no letter, nothing to back it up. So again, a lot of hot air, basically deriding the level of what is Britishness. And what I find about this is the fact that, well, there was an excellent programme, a rare find, all about the atrocities of the grooming gangs on Channel 4. To counterbalance that, if you remember at the time, I suggested, why don't you show both sides? Adolescents one day, the grooming gangs the other. No. Keir never got behind that, didn't want to meet the people, the makers of that, didn't even want to look at the findings. And if you remember, this MP, Jess Phillips, literally scuttled off to ground, didn't want to know anything. So when you see these big grandiose statements coming out of number 10, just remember, like so many people over here in the United Kingdom, nobody actually cares. It's all about headline grabbing, seeing if people will take it on board. But when you get down to grassroots in the schools, I, for one, cannot find any school that's decided adolescence is now worth taking the time out to those wonderful pupils. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.